So I have a lot of questions in my comments asking me to provide a single tree without using any weapon set skills from 1 or 2. And I want to fix that in this video because weapon set is incredibly powerful. And if you understand build making in PoE 2, it is almost necessary for you to be able to follow and understand what weapon set is, because it's not just me, but any other content creator, build makers in the endgame, they will be using weapon set. Because most of the time, that's how you unlock a full build potential. So with a buff in 0.3 to weapon swap, let's talk everything you need to know about weapon swapping and weapon set. So there are only 2 big changes to weapon swap in 0.3. The first one is now weapon swap is instant, so there's no longer any modifiers to increase your weapon swap speed, and everything is just instant and it feels really good. The second thing is the change to weapon sets, and this makes weapon sets viable in the early game because traditionally you need 2 weapons in one in each of your weapon set to utilize the weapon swap tech. Now you just need to have 1 weapon, and if you want to use the same weapon, right, you can just assign the equipped weapon to both of the weapon sets instead of needing to use the different items in each of the weapon sets. And this actually is huge because for a crossbow build, for example, a lot of the other builds, sometimes they use utilities in the offhand, but for example, crossbow build, I would want to use crossbow for both of my skills, and sometimes I want to do damage on both, and it is now possible to do that. All you need to do is go into the game, put your weapons on either weapon set 1 or 2, and then right click to lock that same weapon into both of your weapon sets, and you will be ready to go. And just like that, the same weapon I have is now ready to be used in both hands. Alright, so I'm going to start here on the passive skill trees that I have. And in order to briefly kind of explain how weapon set works and why you should do it, but the main thing here is that, for example, you can kind of see here, I have 4 passive points and I have 4 weapon set points. What this means is that these 4 skill points that I have, I can still allocate 4 more points in each of the weapon sets. You don't have to think about it too much when you're reading a guide. All you need to do is follow the line, right? So for example, the red line here is weapon set 1, the green line is weapon set 2, and I have already allocated 20 points. Now, if I want to put 4 more points, obviously I'm playing a mortal cannon build, so I want to have this node, incredibly powerful grenade skill fire and additional projectiles. So I can obviously use this 4 points to allocate that. But that means that I'm losing out on the 4 flexible points that when I'm on the other weapon sets and I don't need this grenade cluster because the term snapshots, then I'm just losing out on it. Which I can do is allocate this, put point into here. My second weapon set is my ballista totems and grenade cluster build, so this would work. And then I still have 4 more points to do whatever I want. So what I'll do is go up here and put point in here where I can slow down the potency of debuff on me so I can move in map faster, right? So that's how I use weapon set to make a build better. A lot of people are also confused with how you actually allocate the weapon set points. So my recommendations is you basically just have to go with the yellow path right here. So like you just click on all of these paths that have a yellow color, and then you click on weapon sets to set those points. So like green would be weapon set 2 and red would be weapon set 1. So yeah, so again, just follow the yellow path and then you would click on each of the weapon sets to set those points, and you would never be confused again on how to actually do it. Now, the next thing here is that when you have this weapon set up already, you have to go into the skills and set it up as well. And this process is automatically processed in the game, so you don't really need to do anything. All you need to understand, right, is because in the written guide, it should say it on what skill to put on what weapon set. So for example, mortal cannon, I want it on weapon set 2. And I'll say that, and you understand that it is in weapon set 2 because it takes all these ballista grenades, right? And then I have an explosive shot used as utilities, and it should be in weapon set 1 because I want to utilize all of these nodes that give me good utilities in maps, right? So that's how it works. And then you can also do the same thing for the aura as well. So for example, if I want to run aura, for example, Trinity aura only on weapon set 2, I can do that. And then I have Mirage Archer on weapon set 1, I can do just that. So for example here, if Trinity is on weapon set 2, and Mirage Archer I put on weapon set 1, whenever I swap on my weapon set 2, it's gonna have Trinity and Wind Dancer, and on weapon set 1, it's gonna have Mirage Archers and Wind Dancer, because I have it on both, right? If I uncheck this on weapon set 2 and I swap, it's not gonna have Wind Dancer, but you know, Wind Dancer I want it on both, so that's how you can kind of set it up. And that is everything I have to say about this topic. Weapon swap is very powerful in PoE 2, so you need to know how to use it. Or if you don't know how to use it, just make sure you pick a good guy and follow the passive skill tree to the T, and also set up the skills properly to benefit from the weapon sets. So that's pretty much it for the video. I want to keep it short and concise. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.